Imagine a world where the boundary between dimensions has been shattered and reality itself is bleeding into our own. You are part of an elite team of scientists and soldiers tasked with containing the rift, a tear in the fabric of space-time that spews forth creatures, anomalies, and horrors from a parallel universe. But now, the containment is failing, and the entities on the other side are not just invading, they are adapting. Welcome to the Rift 3, the third pulse-pounding, scientifically grounded, and terrifyingly intense installment in the series by Douglas E. Richards and Joshua T. Calvert. If you love interdimensional horror tropes, hard science fiction thrillers, and stories that explore the sheer, unadulterated terror of facing an enemy that defies the laws of physics, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in techno-thriller fiction, blending the visceral chaos of alien invasion with the profound weight of existential threat. The narrative kicks off with the aftermath of a major breach as our protagonist races against time to stabilize the rift before it expands to consume entire cities. The atmosphere is thick with the hum of experimental machinery, the static of displaced reality, and the creeping dread of knowing that every second counts and every mistake could unravel existence. Richards and Calvert excel at capturing the psychological toll of fighting an invisible war, making every scientific breakthrough, every tactical retreat, and every narrow escape feel like a high-stakes gamble, where the price of failure is not just death, but erasure. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular parallel universe trope and the brilliant scientific detective dynamic. This isn't just about shooting monsters, it's about understanding the underlying code of the multiverse, exploiting dimensional weaknesses, and using human ingenuity to outsmart enemies who can step through walls of reality. Watching the protagonist reverse engineer the Rift's technology, forge uneasy alliances with international agencies, and completely shock arrogant theorists with humanity's stubborn refusal to accept doom is incredibly satisfying. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the suspense to life, making the silence of a frozen moment, the rush of a jump scare, and the frantic heartbeat of a person on the edge feel incredibly real and deeply immersive. But beyond the spectacular science and the sci-fi mechanics, the soul of the Rift lies in its characters and the heavy burden of knowledge. The protagonist isn't just a scientist. They are a deeply human individual struggling with the moral weight of playing God with forces they can barely control. The emotional anchor of the story is their fierce, unbreakable bond with their team, a found family bound by shared trauma and the knowledge that they are the only ones who remember the world as it was. The audiobook format elevates these intimate moments, making the quiet, desperate conversations in the lab feel just as impactful as the explosive, reality-shattering climaxes. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A major breach occurs, threatening to collapse the timeline entirely, forcing the team into a desperate, high-stakes confrontation across multiple dimensions. The finale is a breathtaking display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming intellectual courage, and raw, unbridled determination. The protagonist must use every hidden trick, every overloaded device, and every ounce of their will to stabilize the anomaly and secure a future for humanity. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive, paradigm-shifting victory that proves humanity's greatest weapon isn't its technology, it's its resilience in the face of impossibility. The Rift 3 is a triumph of the science fiction thriller genre. It is smart, terrifying, and unapologetically intense. Douglas E. Richards and Joshua T. Calvert have crafted a sequel that perfectly captures the thrill of the ultimate underdog holding the line against the unknown. Plug in your headphones, check your instruments, and join the team. The rift is widening, but the future is worth saving.